Hi, this is Ben, Oofana. I'm very fortunate to have had the opportunity to train with Horace Dokai, the last surviving traditional doctor or medicine man among the Kiowa Indian tribe. Years ago, there were many exceptionally powerful doctors among the various tribes. Initially, in training, you would apprentice with one of the older doctors. He or she would transfer portions of his or her own healing gifts or powers to you. And then you would go through the vision quest to earn the right to work with these healing gifts. Now, the vision quest involves going out alone into the mountains for a period of 4 days and nights with no food and no water. And during this time, there's other forces or beings that will come to you. Now, some receive a vision. Maybe they get a sense of their life purpose or mission in life. Others receive other kinds of gifts or powers. Some could bring the rain. Some had a form of protection. They were protected in battle. Others received these amazingly powerful gifts of healing. Now, out of all these traditional doctors, they all had their own areas of specialization. You know, they had different kinds of gifts and powers, and these different powers would work in different areas. You know, some treated primarily digestive or respiratory disorders, others neurological. Some were better suited for working with people who were struggling with some type of traumatic experience that was affecting them. And these doctors were known for these gifts of healing. And people would travel from great distances. Sometimes the reputation extended beyond their own tribe, and people would travel to see them, you know, to seek out their assistance, their expertise, in much the same way that people in the present day will go to see a specialist in the allopathic medical field. Sometime after I was, early in my practice, there was an older man who came to me who was suffering from colitis. Now, he was in a great deal of physical pain. He would be passing blood in his stools, and he was suffering tremendously. A lot of it had to do with he wasn't really processing or digesting all the stress related to his marriage. You know, he, from what I remember, was in an abusive relationship. But somewhere within 5 to 6 sessions, he had recovered. You know, the bleeding had subsided, as well as the pain. He was much happier, more physically resilient. He was quite pleased with the results. As time has gone on, many people have come to me with various digestive issues. Again, ulcerative colitis, irritable bowel syndrome. Now, I'm not going to say that everybody, that it always has an emotional component, but the vast majority of people that I have worked with, I could feel a tremendous amount fear, anxiety, stress, anguish, anger, rage, just a whole range of emotions just stored down there within the digestive and intestinal tract. And so I'd be working with these individuals, and it would be bringing up all these feelings, emotions that have been stored in the body, often the memories, impressions attached to the feelings and emotions. And it would help the person to go through this whole digestive process. In addition, you'd be going in there to do reconstructive work, to begin to repair the damage within the digestive tract. And so, in healing the intestines, the internal organs, digestive organs, the whole digestive process begins to function normally. Now, most of us are not fully digesting the stresses of our lives. We go through all kinds of things. We have so many demands placed upon us. We struggle with all kinds of issues, and the emotions, the feelings, and attached to them, and the other stresses. Much of this gets stored in the body. And I notice like so many people, they're holding all this stress. A good percentage of it sits down within the abdominal region. So people start to become bloated, distended. There's all this congestion. The digestion becomes very sluggish. In some instances, the elimination becomes, a person may, for instance, eliminate 2 to 3 times a week as a result. And so a similar process, in working with these individuals, this presence working through me would help them to digest all of these emotions and other stresses stored in the body. By learning to digest on the emotional level, whatever is taking place in our life, whatever life experiences, whatever events and the feelings attached to them, whatever we think, feel, experience, all this content needs to go through a digestive process so that we work it through our system. And in doing so, we derive the nutrients, we let go of the waste product, and the nutrients we derive, that builds our body. We become stronger, we become more resilient, become more capable. So, in addition to working with people, doing the healing sessions, that hands-on part, where I'm allowing this presence to go in and do the repair in the body, I give everybody I work with a series of practices to do as homework. Now these practices vary depending on the individual, and people have all kinds of different needs. So there are many different applications for these practices, this whole series of practices I have developed. But people who are struggling or suffering from some kind of gastrointestinal distress, whether it's colitis, irritable bowel, constipation, if they're just bloated, distended, whatever it is, I have them center their awareness deep within the intestines and begin to fully immerse their consciousness within this part of the body to the best of their ability. I just say, take your awareness there. What can you feel? Is it heavy? Or is it feeling congested? Does it feel deadened, alive, vital? Is it raw? Is it inflamed? Does it just feel flat, neutral? Is there a total absence of sensation? Is it warm, vibrant, pulsating? There could be like a whole range. There is a whole range of feelings and sensations inherent in this part of the body. Now, when I first started doing this practice, I couldn't feel much of anything, because like many of us, I was also very numbed or very desensitized. First thing I noticed, it just felt a little congested. But as I kept doing this practice, I could feel all kinds of, over time, it took a couple of weeks to get there, but rumbling, churning, burning, pulsing, tingling. And it was basically stimulating the digestive process. There's belching, farting, having to run to the toilet to eliminate. It starts cleaning out the whole digestive tract. Now, I've continued to do this practice over time. And again, this is a practice I give to people that I work with. One who struggle with all these kinds of digestive issues. But in addition to that, there's a whole consciousness within each of the internal organs of the body. Within the digestive tract, lining the digestive tract, we have what's referred to as the enteric nervous system. There are over 100 million neurons that produce the same neurotransmitters that we find within the brain itself. So there's a whole deeper instinctual consciousness that comes from down here within this intestinal, within the digestive organs. So the more you bring your awareness down into this part of the body and begin to breathe very soft, very deep, follow the feelings and sensations, you do this over time, and the feelings and sensations become more vivid. They're stronger, more powerful. I'd recommend that you do this practice at least 15 to 20 minutes in a day if that's all the time you have. Go up to 30 minutes or even better. I find it's most powerful when you can go at least an hour or more. And as you keep doing this over time, what's happening, you're awakening the innate healing power that resides within your own body and mind. And so this whole consciousness begins to awaken here. You develop a greater rooted presence. You become much more grounded. One of the positive side effects is, in addition to the fact that your digestion improves from doing this practice, is that you gain a greater instinctual knowing. You feel more about the people you're interacting with. Instead of just taking what they say at face value, you could really feel where they're coming from and what their intentions are, what they're about, their limitations, and what they have to offer as an individual. You get a much stronger instinctual sense of your own needs, your individual needs, your purpose. So I can go on from here, but I'll save that for another video. Now, there's a certain amount of healing that we can do on our own. This is a very important practice to keep you rooted in your body. This digestive intestinal region, from my standpoint, I see it as the foundation of our body-mind consciousness. When we have imbalance in this digestive region, it affects all organs and systems of the body. So as this becomes much more vital and resilient, then you will experience a greater resilience throughout your body. Again, I recommend you do this practice every day. Some things we could do for ourselves in terms of healing. Sometimes we need assistance. So if you're really struggling, if you're suffering from colitis, irritable bowel, if your midsection, you feel very congested, feel free to give me a call. The information for my website is posted down below, and by going to my website you can find my contact information. Again, this has been Oofana, and I look forward to being of assistance to you.